What I learned is that is real. So let me tell you how I got over it.
This is a Frankonomics production.
I used to think that trauma was not a real thing. Yes, we've all been through experiences that have stuck with us throughout our whole lives, but I always thought I could just mentally thug it out. But it was until one day on my commute to school, the rain was showering in rhythm with occasional clumps of collected rain splatting onto my windshield. The weather was so bad that my wipers were not fast enough to clear the water. My professor still made us come to class that day, and I guess everyone in the world had to be on the highway too. All the cars moved one after another as we all slumped through the traffic. I unlocked my phone to change to the next song, but I got caught in the trance. I suddenly found myself scrolling reels while pressing the brakes in bumper-to-bumper traffic. The car in front gassed ahead of me, leaving about a 2-car gap in between us. I caught up to her at the same speed while still swiping on my phone. It was until out of nowhere, the car in front had to brake real hard and boom! I gave the car in front of me just a little love tap. Ironically, the car I hit walked away with just a scratch, while my bumper broke a few of the clips that held it in place. The next day I found myself in traffic yet again, but this time when I had to brake, my chest tensed up and my hands got all clammy. This didn't make any sense to me because mentally I was perfectly fine, but my body was preparing for another accident.
So fast forward 2 years later, I'm with my buddy at this club. I thought I was like a little badass by shotgunning 2 cutwaters and then like half a beatbox. I remember I couldn't even make it inside the first club because I just started yakking, bro. Like I was on the side of the curb, just like and
Oh, yeah. Sorry, dude. This story's getting kind of boring, but here's the main point of the video. We all know that disgusting feeling when we think of alcohol after a hangover. You swear you'll never drink again to the point where even smelling hand sanitizer makes you nauseous. But that next week when our boy invites us to the club, our mind wants us to drink. But it's like there's this involuntary response where our body rejects the idea of chugging some Tito's. And I did some digging, and I found out there's
this book called The Body Remembers. I don't have the book because I never read it, but in the book it talks about how your mind and your body, they both operate trauma independently. So that's why.
It sounds far-fetched, bro, I know, but seriously, I think a way to resolve trauma is to return to the source of fear.
So what I learned is that PTSD is real. So let me tell you how I got over it.
To loosely apply some economic term to PTSD, we can think of this as a positive feedback loop. For example, you remember in Iron Man 3 when Tony was having flashbacks of New York and how it traumatized him and all that? He downplayed the trauma and figured he could just thug it out. But in the middle of the night, his body would still believe he was in New York. It was only until he stopped avoiding the fear is when his body and his mind were able to process the trauma.
Okay.
Damn, bro. I was trying to film an outro right now, but I ended up dropping the beer.
I'm not gonna act like I know all the answers to psychological trauma. Everyone's mind processes the same situation differently, and there are different ways to cope or to resolve your inner conflicts. That's what makes us all unique, because who would want to live in a world where we all think the same? But as silly as it sounds, what helped me get over my fear of drinking is to drink some more.
Tell me why I had to find out like that.
Anything else you want to say?
Man, where the bitches at, bruh? Cause man, if you look around, there's a bunch of dudes looking like bitches.
Type shit?
And I don't want to go up to the wrong one. She's like, yeah, hello? Hell no. Fuck no. But yeah, it was cool, man.
All right, bro. Thank you. Take care, all right?
Hey,
Take care.
Hey, what's your page called?